Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everybody.
So while we wait till everyone joins, I would like to hear where are you calling in from or joining in from? Please post in the chat. There we go. Boston, Idaho, New Jersey, Atlanta.
Peter, you're in Oregon right now, right? And
I'm
Dave, you're in San
from,
Diego?
yeah. Mhm.
I'm in Philly, actually, in our office in Philadelphia.
There we go.
Let's see. And Matt, where are you from? I actually don't know that. Are you?
I'm in Vegas, Las Vegas.
Nice.
I thought I saw Nevada, but man, this thing's
Going
running.
fast.
I can't. It's cool to see all the different spots, yeah.
Awesome,
And not even just
awesome.
US, it's all over.
Yeah.
Thank you for the people. Thank you for the people from all over the world joining at, whatever time it is in the Philippines now. So thank you for joining.
I saw India. Yeah. It's amazing. I'm in Vermont where it feels like fall today. My hands are cold. I'm wearing jeans. I have long sleeves on. I was gonna wear a vest, but I was like, no, it's still August. Like I can't do that yet. So
And Jamie, you just moved, right? You were from somewhere else.
we've been 3 years now. Yeah.
3
So
years.
I know,
flies.
time's flying. I was actually out in Oregon where Peter is. We were just a couple hours from Portland. So yeah. But now in the mountains of Vermont, which is great.
Oh, enjoy. Well, I don't have much news as far as moving, but I just had a kid.
I was gonna say, you have big news. What you talking about?
Yeah, so I just had my second daughter was born 2 weeks ago. So everybody's happy, healthy, everybody's doing great. So yep, thank you guys. Thank you.
Hey,
So
Baker City, Oregon, represent. Yeah, you're in the midst of it all right now, Ilya. It's a glorious time.
yeah, I'm a girl, two-time girl dad. We'll see if I can convince my wife to have hopefully I can convince my wife to have more. I want more kids.
Come on,
That's a big gamble.
You are a girl dad. You look like a girl dad, so
I think I've been a girl dad since before I had kids. Now it's just official. So
okay. So let's give it one more minute because we want to give everyone the chance to start from the very beginning. I can cover some housekeeping. We're gonna go through the webinar. We will have a video playing throughout the webinar. We will have a prototype shown, so you will see some screens changing. And in the end, we will do a Q&A, a live Q&A. The team is also in the chat, so if you have during the webinar some questions, our team will be responding those questions. Please use the chat or the Q&A section. Or do we have a Q&A section, Natalia?
We do, yeah.
Okay, so then please use the Q&A section for questions. I will try then afterwards to join also the Q&A session, but meanwhile I will be sharing the screen and guide us through the presentation. All right, well then, Ilya, let's kick it off.
all right, everybody, let's rock and roll. We are here to discuss our summer update, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So let's first talk about our panel of the lovely people that are here joining me today. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Ilya. I'm one of the founders and chief product officer of TaxDome. I'm the guy that's always asking you, why do you need this? Or why is this important to you? And trying to pick your brain. I do it intentionally because we want to make the best possible product for you, care deeply about the product and about kind of, what we can do to make your life better. And my life and my days are spent trying to do that. And I'm able to do that because I've got a great team with me. And I'll introduce the next person. Peter, if you can speak a little bit about yourself.
Of course. My name is Peter. For those who don't know me, I'm originally from Austria, so that's why you hear my German accent. I've been now with TaxDome for 5 years. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer, and I'm the person who you usually talk to when you complain or you have positive feedback. So my email inbox is always open. So feel free to always email me or DM me on LinkedIn. And I don't think I have ever not replied to any customer of ours or to a prospect, especially prospect. No, I'm joking. So, super excited to have you all here because we have a very strong product lineup coming up and to show you some cool features what we have prepared. Dave.
Hey guys, Dave Hayes here. Typically based out of San Diego. I'm in Philly at the moment. I'm the founder of Juno. I'm a CPA. I've run a firm for a decade. So I've been in your shoes, and Peter, when you have things to complain about or questions, or I might be asking you why you want something, I am typically very, very much customer facing. So glad to be here today.
Very good, thank you. Matt?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. My name is Matt Bontrager. I run TrueBooks CPA firm. I'm a CPA myself. I've been running the firm for about 5 years now, and deep user of TaxDome. Got a big team on it, so happy to share any insights.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you for taking the time. And Jamie, please.
Hello, everyone. I am Jamie Gruhl, and I am the co-creator and founder of Workflows for Tax Pros, where we help tax and accounting professionals say goodbye to all of that admin chaos. We help you streamline your operations using TaxDome and make sure that you're building a profitable practice that actually gives you your life back, because that's what it's all about, right? It's not to work, it's to play. But we've helped 1,000 small practices implement TaxDome, and our favorite thing is helping you scale, helping you build without burnout. So I'm excited to talk about these new features today because we love helping people implement them. So hey to everyone in the chat that's a client. Nice to see you guys.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we've got a great panel here, and if you notice, we got a panel covering all sides of the spectrum, right? So we've got people from our team. We have Jamie, who works with helping implement TaxDome for firms. We have Matt, who is a power user of TaxDome with his team, and we have Dave, who's both a CPA and the founder of Juno, which we're going to get into a little bit. So Peter, can you move on and let's get started? What we'll talk about. So key thing first off is we're going to talk about how this is a great time to start implementing processes, right? Based purely from a calendar perspective. If you're not in the US, maybe this won't be as applicable to you. Maybe your time will be in 2 to 3 months, but specifically for the US market, this is probably the best time to do that. Then we'll get into the intake and delivery, which we've been focusing on, and the intake and delivery from what the full end-to-end tax workflow, including how Juno fits into that. We'll talk a little bit about Bookkeeping Hub and what we're introducing there. And then we'll talk about other improvements, including our firm-wide collaboration and communication features, as well as a lot of other improvements and talk about it with the roadmap. So without further ado, let's go forward. So I thought this was a great piece of data point from Thomson Reuters, a Thomson Reuters survey that they just put out of what's most critical for firm owners and partners for their growth strategy in 2025. And the key thing that I saw here is that everybody wants to grow, right? I mean, that hasn't changed. Everybody wants more business. But what we're noticing is that firms do not want to scale linearly, right? If you have a team that, let's say, 5 people and you process 100 clients, I'm just making this up. It's not that you want to hire a 6th person to process 120 clients and so forth, right? You want your processes and your operations and your systems to improve to enable you to have more operational leverage, right? So instead of going from 20 to 1, you want to be able to go to 50 to 1. And that's what technology and process can enable you to do. And by doing so, then you know that you can handle more clients and your margins can increase, right? It's not just about more revenue, it's about more margin as well. So this is the time to do it. And if you're able to set up processes today, in the 4th quarter, you're going to be really well set up for 2026 and achieving your goals.
Right. And basically what tech has been doing since 20, 30, 50 years to run very scalable companies, technology allows you now to do this as a service provider too. And this is what we want to underline here, is to understand, utilize technology to run scalable processes, which gives you high multiplicators and not proportional scale. That you don't have to hire additional team members every time when you get 10 additional clients.
And one thing that we really kind of want to focus on is the data speaks for itself. Is for you to have that operational leverage, obviously you need your firm processes in place. You want the proper tools, but at the same time, you need your clients to play ball, right? If your clients don't give you information, if they're not providing you, you can have the team set up, everything could be amazing, but you could have 20 people sitting on their hands waiting for information, right? Waiting for documents to come in. And what your clients want, and the data is clear on this, right? We can all have our opinions, but the data is clear of what the clients actually want. Your clients, and this is according to 1,000 taxpayers in the US that were surveyed, 3 out of 4 of them want a single platform for all communications and document sharing, right? We didn't go into detail of all the other things that they want, but once you add on even more things beyond that, they want it all in one place, one source of truth for your firm.
And on the other side, a survey from Gartner tells you that 73% of accountants reported that their workload has increased. And one of the main part why it has increased, they're saying that of the increased tech stack they have adapted to in the company. So they're saying, I'm just overloaded. I have to manage 12 tools, 15 tools, switch from one port to the other, need to update everything. And the good thing is the clients, they want the same. So it plays into your cards to go into an all-in-one tool.
And so here what we want to talk about here is kind of the big thing that we've been one of the big things that we've been working on is really having the full end-to-end tax workflow in one platform. So we've always had it, right? We've had organizers, and we've had the ability to, deliver a tax return to the client. But what we've added on here is we're layering on top of the great system that we've had, but we're layering on top AI functionality to improve both the intake side and the delivery side. And we're adding in the layer with Juno, which we'll talk about in a second, which improves the whole internal part of it. So if you can go to the next slide, Peter, we really kind of outline it here okay, before actually click one more, just because I'm on the train of thought, click one more over. So this is how to think about it, right? So if we talk about intake and delivery, intake is the part where your client provides you documents. Delivery is the part where you provide your client with the documents, right? But in order for you to do that, there's multiple steps that have to be there. And now you have that full process inside of TaxDome in one system. And we're partnering with Juno to really give you operational leverage on the actual prep part, right? And Dave will talk about that in a second, kind of what that looks like and why that's important. But this gives you the full picture. But what your team gets and what your clients get is the full end-to-end tax workflow from intake to delivery in one unified client experience, one team experience there as well. And the first part of having the full end-to-end workflow is the ability to send your client professional proposals and engagement letters. And what we're releasing now is the ability to, which people have been asking for a while, so you have it here, is the ability to have multiple packages be sent to clients. So when you send your client a proposal, you can create, say, don't just, this is what you get. You can say, hey, do you want the basic or essential package, the growth package, or the strategic package? And it's in a presentable manner, and your clients can choose. And what this does is this allows you to really increase your average revenue per customer, right? Because what you have is what's called price anchoring. And in doing so, then your clients can, more and more clients will gravitate to the other packages instead of just one low package there. So you guys will be able to do that. And, this is, I would say, best practice in the industry now. So this will be coming out. And Jamie, how are you thinking about this when you tell firms kind of to implement this?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said is that the power of being able to give people the option of what they're going to choose, they're always going to, human nature is to go in the middle. So I think one thing that we're thinking about is how can we help our people really identify the value of what they're offering instead of just saying, I do taxes. It's how can you start thinking about the services and the components of the services you offer that are valuable to your clients. And that could be meetings, it could be, quick turnarounds, whatever that makes up the package that you have. So we're telling our people right now, start thinking about it now. So when this does roll out, you can actually start implementing it and taking advantage of increasing the lifetime value of your clients as soon as it's available.
And many of you have been using a workaround right now where they uploaded the PDF to the engagement letter, or no, I think to the proposal. and then you let the people choose then manually what they want to move forward with.
Mm.
I would recommend, as you see, we want to release it next month. So look over those packages and what you have already prepared with this workaround. So you used another tool, review them, make sure you have the right pricing set up, also what services you want to include in each tier package. And then once we roll it out, you're ready to go to just set it up and roll out to your clients.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be
can
great.
let's launch the first the poll. Can you do that, Nat, please? Just so you guys will see a poll come out. And while you guys are answering this poll, there's a couple of questions here that are coming in the chat that I think we're happy to address. So first off, everything you see on the screen is fully customizable, right? You can name the packages whatever you want. You can name them, you can name them whatever you want. And on top of that, you can add the badges. So you see there, it says bestseller. You can name the badge and you can promote the one that you think is either the best value or the one that you recommend to people. And you can fully outline what's included there, right? So your value propositions. Matt, how do you think about this? Do you have packages that you offer your clients?
We do. And I find that to be important because from my perspective, helps the client understand that we're trying to fit what it is that they need. I don't want to cram them into something or sell them something that they don't need. But on the other hand, I think that sometimes this can feel, as a young firm owner, right? I've been doing this 5 years. I feel like I've been doing it 100 by now. Sometimes people can feel overwhelmed and thinking that they need too many packages. So I would always err on the side of like no more than 3. But again, from a sales perspective, it really helps the client understand like, okay, they're willing to get something, to me that fits what I need here. So, we're a huge proponent of it. We do the same thing, really just in the tax planning side. Tax prep is tax prep, but no, I love it. And obviously, again, back to this theme of keeping everything to one software and consolidated, it makes our life easier as the practitioner. It gives less friction to the client. So, no, this is big.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say there's a lot of
Please.
positive emojis in there, so I just want to voice over the excitement from the channel.
Awesome.
Super cool.
Awesome. And there's some questions also about fees. There are no fees for this. So with every TaxDome subscription, you have unlimited proposals and engagement letters that you can send. You can include packages. You can collect client payment methods at the time. You can charge them for payment, through there. So there are no fees for any of this. It's fully included packages. Both proposals and packages, the sub feature within them are fully included. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. We talked about this, and now I'll hand it over to Dave and Peter. I believe you'll play. Dave has prepared a lovely. Before that, apologies on my end. So I'll switch over, and I will share my screen. Peter, if you can drop there. Yep, thank you. So let me know when you guys see my screen.
Yep.
So we talked about the full end-to-end process, and I wanted you guys to see kind of what we mean by that and walk you through it. So in this case, assume the proposal has already been signed, right? Here, we're focusing purely on we're starting with the intake aspect of it, right? So what we're adding in, we've got, organizers that we've had, but what we're adding in are checklists. So these are document checklists that you can create for your clients. And we're starting with one, but you're going to be able to have many checklists, right? So imagine you're doing a client's books. You need documents for their tax return. You might need monthly bookkeeping documents. You might need a different checklist for sales tax. So you can have as many checklists as you need for the various services that you provide. And at least the tax one will be able to be generated from prior year information. So click here, the AI is going to analyze it, and it's going to create the checklist based off of the information that was in the prior year tax return. Now, once you do that, you can attach this checklist to an organizer, right? So we've always had the organizer process, and now you're able to make those organizers even shorter because you'll be able to have the prior year information that you need from your returning clients in there. And if you notice, we're going to switch over to the client side. Your client will see it right there. And just for context, more than 4 million end clients use TaxDome last year. Right. So this year it's going to be way more than that. And what this does is it provides us with a tremendous amount of data points on what works and what doesn't and how best to serve their clients. Right. Because we analyze every click, we analyze every user experience, and we optimize it for what makes completion work as good as possible. And we'll actually talk about that on the client portal side as well. But once your client gets over, the checklist will actually be first. So here you're seeing in the prototype, the questionnaire, the checklist will actually be the first thing your clients see, and they can just dump in their documents, right? So they just dump in their documents. What we're going to do is we're going to auto match their uploads to what they've provided you, to what your checklist has. Now, as you guys know, clients never provide you with everything, right? So they can piecemeal provide you the information, and then they'll always see what's still outstanding. Now, when they don't have something, we're going to auto match the files to what they have, but then they can also match it on their own. Now, a key thing here is sometimes clients don't always provide you the information today, but there could be multiple reasons, right? Especially when you're using prior year information. Maybe they don't work there anymore. Maybe they don't, maybe, maybe they sold a house last year, they didn't sell it again. So they'll be able to say, hey, actually, I don't have this anymore. This is not applicable. Or they'll say, hey, I already gave this to you. Go find in, my documents somewhere. Or they can say, hey, actually, I didn't get my K1 yet. I'm going to provide it to you, March 15th or, May 15th or whatever comes in. And they'll receive an automated reminder about it. Or they could just leave you a comment saying, whatever, I don't understand what this is. Tell me about it. So these are some new functionality that we're implementing there. Then we're going to do another final check once they've uploaded it, again, to make sure, hey, there's some documents that are still missing. And the key for this is as few touch points your team can have with documents until they're ready, the better, right? The fewer touch points, the faster and more streamlined your processes can be. If they don't have something, again, your clients will be able to provide why they didn't do it on the final check. And then what this does is you, on your side, have received all those documents. And now here, you have this new button, one click, once you've set up the integration, you send to Juno. So this is what the setup integration start looks like. You literally click start, account is created immediately. And then I'm actually going to now hand this over to Dave, and we'll play that video from Peter.
Before we hand over, I think, just to cover some questions to make sure we're very clear on what we're communicating. So what Ilya showed beforehand, can you go back to the client side? Because there's, for example, a question, do the clients see the checklist? So here, this is the questionnaire, the organizer view. And then once they fill out the organizer, they come to the document checklist. And this is where they start uploading their files. And each file, as he drops it in, TaxDome identifies, okay, it's in there. And then, for example, on the right, you see unmatched files, Bank of America. I know we moved a little bit too fast, but just making sure that everyone is on the same page, how this looks like for your clients.
Well, the idea is pretty simple, is that you want your clients to see the list of documents that they have and they just drop them in, right? People just drop them in the files. We do our best to match them. Some things will match, some things won't, and then they can manually match anything otherwise, or they might upload files that aren't even in your document request list, right? And then you can go there. And the document request list is a living document that you can constantly modify, right? So let's say you have your document checklist from last year, which is, let's say 10 files, K1s, W2s, whatever, but then you know that they sold their home this year. When the client tells you that on the phone, you can update their document checklist. You can manually add in, we restart here. On this checklist, you can manually add in any items you want. So it's a living document inside the profile, and then you'll be able to say, hey, add in, the 1099-S or whatever the form is for selling a house, or that they did something else. So you can add documents, you can remove them. It's a living document there.
There are two different ways how you can do this. You can do it the manual way, or you can use AI, what allows you in the beginning, it will allow you to break down the previous return. The 1040 return, you upload the return, and then it will read the return and tell you which files it's needed. Or you can do it also manually.
Okay, cool. And then let me hand it over back to, I'll stop sharing, and then if you can play the video from Dave.
Yep. Where's my, there it is. All right.
Hello, and welcome to Juno, the modern way to automate tax preparation. We're so excited about our new partnership with TaxDome.
This will be the industry's most automated end-to-end workflow for tax preparation. So how's it going to work? First, TaxDome will push documents into Juno starting in October directly from your client portals. Simply select the client, select the documents that you want to send, and hit the Send to Juno button to export the data into the correct client file in Juno to start your tax preparation. You can then access those files and add more inside of Juno. Next, Juno extracts the data for validation. AI is incredibly accurate. To get to 100%, we flag the fields that you need to review. We process over 50 form types, W-2s, 1099s of all flavors, 1098s, brokerage statements, and K-1s at both the federal and the state level. And we do Schedule C, E, and F documents in either CSV, PDF, or Excel formats. In just a few minutes, you can extract hundreds of fields of data. Now, you can export this data into your tax software. We work with Lacert, ProConnect, Drake, UltraTax, and very soon Access and ProSeries. We have a desktop application that you can see here that runs on your computer to enter the data into your tax software like a user does. Simply select the client, review the documents that you're going to import, and hit import. It's already mapped to your tax software automatically. Now, the software is going to pull up your tax software and do the data entry for you, importing an average of over 100 data points on each return in just 1 to 2 minutes.
Can you pause the video here
We're
a
not
second real
done.
quick? Do you mind pausing the video? I just wanted to, I think this is just super important. I wanted you guys to understand because it goes super fast. Do you mind just going back in the video 10 seconds? Dave, can you just talk us through like what happened there with the 100 data points? Like just talk us through like what's happening with the data entry.
Yeah, great question. We do cover so much in this 3 minutes. I say that at the end, like, holy moly, that was a lot in 3 minutes. Okay, so we extract the data from these forms, right? You validate it. So you or someone on your staff, my admins actually do this. They can validate the data. If we don't have super high confidence, then we have a human look at it. And then we take all that extracted data. You know, a typical tax return is going to have a few hundred points of data. And we into your tax software. So whether it's virtually hosted or local, we can push it directly into the tax software. And I see a bunch of questions about the types of tax software. So kind of like I mentioned, it's Lacert, ProConnect, Drake, and UltraTax. Today, we have Access coming in the next few weeks, and then we'll have ProSeries in Q4 at some point. And I know we get all the questions about more software. We will support more software. It's a massive lift to integrate with a number of different types of tax software that we do, because remember, it's not just some people install it on their computers, some people have it on a server in the cloud, some people have it with Rightworks. We have to support all of that. And then what's happening here that you can see is we enter data like a user does. So we're not like overwriting the file, which is something that some of the other automation tools do, and then send you back a file. We just push it into your tax software directly. So it fills it out like on your computer. You can go do something else. It takes a minute or two to do that. And I'll say one other quick thing on that. And yeah, Peter, I can go through the rest verbally. You know, as you know, with agentic AI, I'm going to keep this very short so we don't go on a total tangent. It's going to do more and more human things, but the really good systems are going to identify when they might not be accurate. They're going to ask you questions, right? Think of this as like a team member more than just a piece of software. So it's going to go back and forth between different types of software, and it's going to ask you questions where it's not completely confident. And that's actually the sign of a good system in this case. And Peter, you can keep playing it, and I can just talk over if you want to mute it. Yeah. So then the really cool part though, guys, is this is where I get super excited. We will then review the return. And this is great for like a tax preparer if you've got that structure, who maybe needs to be guided in self-review in particular. And it's also a great double check. So we look at like source to the 1040 and make sure everything matches, source documents to the 1040. And then we have gotcha checks where we go through all these different like kind of logic magical things that might happen on a return, like I missed the carryovers or a taxable refund, or they changed filing structure, whatever it might be. And then once all that data is in our system, you can also do like analysis and projections. So it's really pretty remarkably capable. And this all comes in like one package. We price based on the number of returns. We'll share the pricing data with you. We're actually transparent about that. And you can do a free trial, which we're really proud of. Like, I don't think you can do that with any of the other tax softwares that do automation. So it's a really exciting vision of what this is going to look like in the future. But also it really ties with what the TaxDome team is doing when you bring that data in, right? You can only do so much. Someone asked me in Orlando yesterday, what about handwritten notes? Well, like we can take a handwritten note, but my question back is, why are you still getting handwritten notes? Because I'm looking at your handwritten note and it doesn't tell me the information I need. I'm going to email you a follow-up, right? Because your handwritten note doesn't tell me like you removed money from an HSA, but was it the same amount that was reported back? You contributed money to charity, but do I know, is it over $250? Like, do I know the address and the name? And I won't continue to go on too much about that, but just know this is complex and we totally get that. This is a teaser. More than happy to connect with folks. You can find us at juno.tax and set up a demo. You can sign up for a free trial. We're already live. We've been live all of this year. We're just super excited though in the next few weeks to get this into TaxDome and make it even easier for all of you guys. But get great data up front, and then you're going to do a whole lot of really fun stuff back in terms of getting your workflows automated.
Can I add something? There was a comment that went by because there's a lot of people saying, well, my other software already does this and it you know what, that works fine. It's gonna make me more inefficient. I want to just call out that one, as you know, Ilya pointed out at the beginning of this, your team, your clients don't want more places to go to work with you. Your team is frustrated in working with you because they have 7 tools that they have to understand how to use. And when you can streamline everything into one workflow, it makes you massively more efficient. So the cost of the return per return for Juno is easily recovered in more efficient staff, higher volume, less team needing to do that higher volume, and happier team because it's all in one place and they're not doing the manual entry of things. So you get to start using them at the top of their pay grade rather than for admin work. So I just wanted to add that piece, and I hope that you guys will take that as just something to think about as you're looking at software and additions of things like Juno.
Well, there's just kind of from our end, we don't take partnerships lightly. And when we partner with somebody, we do it because we believe in their mission, we believe in the quality of their work, and we just think they're good people to work with. And we've had a great experience so far with Dave and the Juno team. We've continued, we've been working closely with them on the integration, which should be live in the next, it's already being beta tested. So we had our first couple clients have been going through it the last couple of days. And they've been, enjoying the integration there. And it'll be live, I believe, to everybody in end of September, early October, to all the mutual users. But I want you to think about Juno as 3 separate products that deliver 3 separate functions that that you can value differently. But the first one is purely labor arbitrage, right? Putting numbers onto a tax return is just pure data entry. You are doing it yourself, in which case you're valuing your time by the hour, or you're paying somebody who you're an admin or a junior preparer to do this. It doesn't get done by itself. Somebody's doing it. So you can either pay a human or do it yourself, or you can pay a machine which doesn't get sick, which doesn't get tired, which doesn't make, is going to be more accurate than the human to do that. So for me, I think of it purely as the first part is pure labor arbitrage. So if you don't think of nothing else, pure labor arbitrage in the first part. But then once you get the labor arbitrage, even if you choose not to do that, the second part is the actual quality of the work, right? So they're using an assistant or kind of another team member to improve your review process to give you more accurate returns will reduce the quality, the number of touch points your team has, and make your team work faster. And then finally, the advisor is to help you upsell, right? Everybody wants to get into advisory. Well, this is a way to do that, right? This is a way to be, hey, this is something you can offer your client automatically. Because when you get tired and you're in the middle of tax season and you're just doing return after return after return, you're not going to be thinking as critically about this stuff. This allows you to have an assistant to do that. So we think it's great. We've had really great feedback so far. Like I said, the Juno team is offering kind of demos and working through those. And yeah, we hope you guys will love it, but we're super excited about it. So, and now we've talked about getting the documents from the client. We've talked about the prep part being kind of better now, more efficient. And now we're on to the delivery part. So like I said, we've had tax return, you've been able to upload a document to your clients. But here, what we're adding in is a much more kind of, I would say, professional aspect of it. So what you're seeing here is we're creating kind of a presentation view for the client to review the end tax return. So in doing so, you can skip through these. What we're adding in the first part is an introduction. So a lot of times people are, especially, more and more remote clients, you want to keep the personal touch. You have a video. I know, Jamie, you guys, I believe, talk about adding in videos as a big part of your process. You can add an introduction and you can embed the video directly into here. So when your client is presented with the tax return, they're going to be able to see your video review right there and then in the same view. You can add another summary about it. You can, I love this, love ABBA. If you ever go to Sweden, go to the museum. Next, we're going to automatically parse the pages there so that your client will be able to see, where's my tax return, where's my signature pages, where's there. And then finally, over to the signature. Signature is going to be a part of this. You can request signatures as part of the delivery package. If your client owes any money, the payment vouchers will be automatically read by AI. The dates will be pulled out, and then your client will receive automated reminders next year about the amounts that they have to pay to the, to the IRS, to New York, to whatever authority that they need to do. And they'll be able to see that in their portal. So what you're doing today will be fully automated. I mean, many people aren't doing it, right? I mean, who's going to remember to remind your clients next year to do that? It's, it's a pain. This makes it much simpler to do that. And your client is going to receive this all in one, in one presentation on their side. So I don't think we have the client experience here or there as well, but on the client side, they'll be able to see this fully and have the full process of what is the most important thing I need to see from this tax return, right? You guys are the professionals. Your client just sees a 100-page PDF and probably just clicks, yeah, whatever, sounds good, let's move on. But this allows you to actually pull out the key information. What do you owe? Are you getting a refund? The key information there. And then, as well as that, they'll be able to see what amounts that they owe to what tax authority, and they'll receive automated reminders there. So to kind of wrap this up, switch it back to Peter, the full intake and delivery part, from getting the client documents, working on the documents with, Juno enables that part to be even better. And then the final delivery to the tax return becomes a more cohesive process, right? So you could always collect documents, you could always upload a tax return, but now it's much more of a unified process, and that's the end-to-end delivery that we're working on. We're super, super excited about. So before we move on to this, if we can have one more poll from our team and throw it in there. And while we're doing that, I'll address some of the other kind of questions that are coming in here.
Let me cover also some. So
yeah, please.
While Natalia pulls up the poll. So remember, you do the intake. Intake is included in your subscription. So you create the checklist. You can create a manual checklist. You have your client upload their documents. And then once you want to automate the process with the tax prep process, you can send it to Juno. It uploads directly the documents, and then you can do the fast tax preparation, the data entry. And then afterwards, you can do the review if you want. And then obviously the delivery part, what Elia showed. And the delivery part is again inside TaxDome. Very important to understand that this is again in TaxDome inside.
Okay. And then one final question again, what does Juno do? What does TaxDome do? TaxDome does everything to do with your client. So the intake, the delivery is TaxDome. Juno is improves the actual prep. So the first part that Juno does, as mentioned, is they automate the data entry of the tax return of the client documents into the tax software automatically, and then they improve the actual prep with review. So that's what Juno does. We do the intake part and the delivery. So anything to do with client intake or delivery presentation, that's what we do, and Juno is the middle layer. All right, just to keep time on, we will have more questions. We'll happily address them afterwards as well. We wanted to talk about Bookkeeping Hub. So we've been talking about this for a while, and this really continues with the same idea of a unified client experience, right? So many firms do either full service or they're bookkeepers only, right? So Matt, your firm, how many bookkeeping clients do you guys have?
We got about 90.
You got about 90 clients. Okay, great. So, and what Yeah, but at the same time, you guys also do tax and other services as well, right? So that's what we kind of consider a full service firm. And what you can do now is you'll be able to connect your clients' GL into TaxDome and then ask questions on the transactions directly in the same portal that they do everything else, right? So in the same portal that they sign signatures, in the same portal that they answer that you have communication with them, in the same portal that you might be doing their, their tax work or other, or signatures or anything else. And the key thing here is we're shortening the loop, right? So before, what people did is they would either create a spreadsheet, send it to their clients, which is just, a spreadsheet, then you have to manually transfer it over. It's hard to keep track of. It's kind of like a whole messy process. Or you would have to use other tools for that. And other tools, I think, have done a great job at coming up with this. But those other tools' entire business model is predicated on paying per client. So in Matt's case, if he's got 90 clients, he's paying 90 times 10, probably $900 a month, which times 12, if I can count, almost 11 grand a year,
I mean,
just for that functionality.
Let's not talk around. Matt, what do you use? You use Uncat, right?
We use Uncat. Yeah. First, we were doing just as you said, Elliot, there's a sequence for everybody. We did spreadsheets. We did Google Sheets because we would give the client the link and say, hey, don't lose this. This is the same link every time. That gets extremely inefficient and real messy and it's also a third software or a second software. But then, yes, we started to move to Uncat, which again, just as Ilya said, like show respect where it's due, is they did a great job at it. But the problem with that is now I still have clients going to two spots, which for me is a lot of friction. And my whole goal here is running. I feel like we're all in this business of keeping employees happy and clients happy, so we have low churn. And the more friction I can remove from the process, the happier the clients. And so again, back to that unified experience. So so we use Uncat, or we did use Uncat.
So that's really kind of what we're going for here. And I think that as the industry evolves, as technology evolves, as new use cases appear, right? This didn't exist, right? And this didn't exist a couple of years ago. And then some people came up with it. It was a great tool, but we have constant innovation. So what we've done is now we bring this into the platform, but we're able to leverage it and give you no fees for this. And again, we kind of scoffed over that, but if you got, Uncat's a fantastic tool, but in Matt's case, he's probably paying them 11 grand a year just for that functionality. Here, this is fully included, with no per client fees there. So that's kind of how we think about it. And this will be out to all firms. It's already in beta, and it'll be out to all firms in the next couple of months or so. So some people are asking about which GL. We're starting with QuickBooks simply because they have the biggest market share, and we will be adding in more GLs over time there. Next, wanted to talk about global communication. So really the ability to, TaxDome has what's called omnichannel, right? So omnichannel means we allow you to integrate your email, your whole team's email. We allow you to use secure chats, and which actually people love. So millions of chats are sent every year, and that's actually becoming more and more predominant form of communication. And we also have SMS. Global communication allows you to put those all into one place. Now, a key issue that people have is they're overloaded with communication, right? You have clients, tons of clients messaging you, tons of clients emailing you, and what do you do there? So with the omnichannel inbox, what we're doing is adding in assigning those threads to somebody and the ability to triage ownership. So the real key of this is that you can have, let's say, an admin come in and just assign work to different people instead of everybody just seeing it right there and then. So by having ownership of a specific thread, what happens is your inbox becomes much clearer. Instead of you having everything, you can see what's assigned to me and what's assigned to different teammates. I was going to show the demo, but I think we're short on time, so I kind of want to go there. But
the good thing is you will receive the slides where you can click into the prototypes.
Yeah, but the main thing, and we don't actually have this in the prototype, but there will also be automation built on top of this. So imagine that you can have automated assignments based off of various logic that's there, right? So for example, certain people can be assigned to different, if a message comes in from them, it automatically goes to so-and-so person and so forth. So this is going to be kind of really excited for this, and this will be coming out this quarter. Already out to everybody is we have team chat. So again, big pain point is you need to collaborate with your team, right? So you've already had the ability to leave mentions on different places in the system, but here what you can do is a full on I mean, I'll just say it. We use Slack internally. This is very similar. This is similar to Slack and Microsoft Teams. So you can create persistent channels. Those channels can have different members, right? So for example, I can have a channel, let's say called sales with me and Peter. I can have another channel called partnerships with me and Jamie. I can have another channel. I was actually talking on a channel with Matt yesterday. So vice versa. So it allows you to create these persistent channels for your team. And you could do it on your phone as well. So this is something we just recently added, is you can collaborate on the go through the mobile app. And a big feedback from the beta group was that people wanted a lot more control over their notifications. So now you can fully control whether you want browser notification. I believe browser notifications might actually be already released, but we'll check with the team there. But you can configure your browser and your sound notifications of how much you want to be notified or how little. But what this does is it allows your team to really coordinate all the communication into one place, and without having, and again, no fees for that, fully included, really the ability to replace Slack and Teams and have, again, I think actually the fees aspect for this part is less important, to be honest, because if you're a team, you probably don't care that much to pay a little more about it, right? It's not that much money. But if you go back to Peter's point, the more systems you have and the more places that they have to go look at things, it creates operational overload and mental overload for your team. So if they know that they're working here, the documents come in here, they're able to do that, and they're able to have much more better collaboration within there.
Jamie, tell us how do you approach this? when you implement-
Yes. So I was talking with Jessica, my co-founder. She's an enrolled agent. She has a small practice of people all over the states that are working with her. And we've been kind of strategizing how we're going to propose the operations of this. And I think the most important thing that you need to think about is, the working in one place, because the information that goes into a chat like this, the team communication and the Teams area, is most appropriate for the communications of you keeping your day-to-day work going, right? If somebody is going to communicate to you and say, I have an update on a specific job, the nice thing about having it right in TaxDome is that you're not going to Slack and saying, hey, here's an update on that job, and then the information doesn't actually make it over to the job. So if you're in TaxDome, you can start putting out policies around, okay, this type of information goes into the team chat, this type goes into the job versus the account note, right? So you always have a process around where I'm putting information so everyone can go and find what they need to do it. Because I feel like, the team channel is around more like water cooler talk and one-off quick questions, right? And that's more appropriate in that type of environment. And if something comes out that's important to go into a job, I can just copy it out and pop it into a job for a client rather than it getting lost in the ethers.
Those also some questions are, do we have video and sound? No. And we won't add them. I'll be honest with you. I just think it's kind of I think Microsoft Teams is an abomination. Those of you that enjoy using it, please do. I think you're only using it because you're corporate. The only reason to use Microsoft Teams is because it's free. And this is free as well. So I think Google is fantastic. I think Zoom is free. I think there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Those are great tools. We will not be adding in video or audio there. And please, if I do a meeting with you, never send me a Teams link. It's the devil, as somebody said.
It's so hard to use.
Yeah. So anyway, you have this here. People are really liking it. We'd love to hear your feedback about how you're using it. But again, the main idea is everything is in one system. You're able to have those chats there, and they're great. All right, let's move on, Peter. And I'm just trying to keep us on time. I could talk all day about this. So we've been focusing on talking a lot about these new features that are coming out, right? And we invest a great deal into new things, and people are always asking, well, what's new? Tell me what's there. But we're constantly improving our platform, right? So we have dedicated teams that are focusing on new things, and we have dedicated teams that are focusing on constantly making improvements to the platform consistently. So we've released tons of improvements, and we're going to continue to do so. And I think one thing that I really wanted to highlight is the new portal. So we've redesigned the portal from the client side. And what it's done is it's done two things. It's done added in a multi-entity view. So we've always, for those of you who don't know, TaxDome is a many-to-many system. So your clients can, from one login, access many different entities. Right. So, I mean, Matt, you obviously work for people that have books. I'm sure you're probably also doing their personal taxes for a lot of them, or they might have multiple franchises that they're, that they own and so forth. This way they can access all of those from one login. And they've always had that. But what we've done is we've made it clearer if they need to do anything for an account that they're not currently logged into. So that's multi-entity view, and we've had kind of really good feedback there. And on top of that, we've done some other redesign. Remember, I mentioned how we get so many data points on how people are using the system, where they're clicking. So since we've done this release, the time to completion for organizers, proposals, and signatures, 3, have all been between 30 and 40% faster than what they were before. So I'm really excited about that because, again, you need information to get to you faster. You need your clients to complete things faster. That's what the portal is really optimized for that.
And as we move on, over the next slides, you will see now several updates what we have done. You might see on social media or on our emails the big announcements. If we add a total new feature to the platform or we expanding our platform. But please, I want to make the point what Elia mentioned is, please understand that we invest a lot of time and resources to update and improve our platform. So every time when you post something in the feature request board or especially in the community too, then we take this immediately to the development team to make those improvements happen.
Yep, we'll go there. And actually, our team, those of you that are talking to our team, thank you. I believe in the last 3 months, and this is pure full-on interviews. Our team has done roughly about more than 150 a month. So almost 500 interviews in the last 3 months with firms, specifically going over how you're using the system, showing you previews of things that we're working on, getting your feedback. And a lot of that goes into the day-to-day improvements that we make, as well as new things that we're working on. So those of you that are talking to our team, please continue to do so. We have tons of those. Our team is measured on how much they're speaking to clients. That's actually a huge KPI for us. So people are asking, are doing that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, get into our community. So we have more than 5,000 people in our community. That's where our team posts the things that we're doing research on. That's where they post the links of saying, hey, this is what we're working on. We'd love to talk to you about it. I think Edwin, if you're here, shout out to Edwin, is doing a fantastic job of talking to everybody and really keeping.
Edwin, please post the link in. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Goated. Yeah. So thank you. Please talk there. But we'll move on just to get kind of there. But key thing is we're constantly improving. We're going to continue to do so. And we're building alongside the community. And I think, Peter, you can keep going again. Actually, we'll come back to that. All right, we'll talk about this now. So one of the things that we wanted to do is we built a lot of people are introducing a portal, right? And they're always like, oh, something else for my clients. A lot of people are switching from different systems to come over to us because they see, the benefit of that. And they're like, well, how do I present this to my clients? What do I do? So what we've done is we've created a client-facing PDF that explains what the benefits of this, right? So it's written from your view. It's not TaxDome. It's written from your view. And then what we've done is we've created a second brochure, which you can customize yourself. Right. So you can modify the text. Maybe you say, oh, this isn't my tone of voice, or I want to put it in Spanish, or I want to put it in a different language. We've made a second one that you can customize, and we'll send this via email as well, and we'll post it in the community. But you can have these 2 brochures that you can take and easily create and share with your clients when you introduce them to your new portal, right? So we're in the background. This isn't from TaxDome. This is from you. So there's 2 versions there. So we'll put those links there. Now, real quick, awesome. I'm glad to hear people in the chat loving the community and loving Edwin. So awesome. Happy to hear that. These are a few of the things that we're currently working on, and just kind of walk you through them. But again, this is not exhaustive. We have some other secret projects that we're not talking about yet that we're super excited about, and that we hopefully will also launch before the end of the year. But I believe will make a massive impact on your firms. And so let's go through them. So first off, we're working on intake and delivery. That is currently in beta, and it's going to continue. So if you're in the beta group, it's been there for about a couple of weeks. It's going to continue improving. Every couple of days, we release new updates there and what's improving, and it's going to continue to do so. And then we're going to add the AI layer on top of that. Next, For payments, two big, talked about packages for proposals, but there's two big things that we're kind of working on. Number one is we're going to be releasing TaxDome payments, which is going to have the ability to pass through processing fees. So that should be released in the next month. And team is working on both the ability to collect deposits in just a cleaner manner on your proposals, right? So saying, hey, I want a 20% deposit or I want X dollars to sign. Or the other thing that we're working on, which I'm even much more excited about, is smart invoice creation. So imagine you can just click a button and an invoice is created for your client with a bunch of logic behind it. So your entire invoicing process, which takes days, can be streamlined through automation. So I think that's going to be really, really huge. I'm super excited about it. And many of you have been talking to our team about what that's going to look like. So thank you. Next is white label client mobile app. This is something released and we're working. This is actually not even on a roadmap. It's already kind of released. But Peter, can you speak about that for 2 seconds?
Sure. I mean, imagine like this. You want to expand the visibility of your brand, and you want your clients to feel like you are a strong brand, strong company, and you want to keep your name out there. So what we did now is you can white label the client mobile app with your own logo, with your own colors, and then you can send a link to your clients and they can go in the App Store and say, for example, download the Master CPA client mobile app. And this helps you to get faster adoption. It creates, a better brand reputation, more referrals, because they show off, hey, look, my client has his own app.
Well, just on that, I think it's important to say that this is, so first off, the TaxDome mobile app, which everyone has and is free, is awesome, right? So there's over 20,000 reviews, 5 stars from your clients that are using it every day, that log into it, that find it's fantastic. But it still says TaxDome app. If you are a firm, and this is probably concerns larger firms, right? Because there's a fee associated with this, right? So this is custom development for you to provide a custom portal for you in the App Store, right? So there's a fee associated with this. It's not cheap, but if you really value your brand, and for you it's important to have visibility there in the app stores and have full control over the branding and not see TaxDome anywhere, but have, for example, Matt, it would say TrueBooks CPA, and somebody can search in the App Store and see that and see everything about TrueBooks CPA and see reviews there. If that's something that's important, that you're interested in, let our team know and we'll walk you through it. But that's something that we're super excited about. Nobody does this. This doesn't exist. You can't go to a dev shop to get this because it would cost you millions of dollars to do, first off, and you wouldn't have the security and the actual the support behind it. So we provide fully the infrastructure. We brand it to you in the client mobile app that's there. And I'll skip over some of these. You guys can kind of read it just so we can, we're nearing the time. I will actually warn this, we will stay a little longer, but I just wanted to get through the presentation so that people who have a hard stop can leave. But I will stay, Peter will stay. Hopefully Jamie, Matt, and Dave can stay if they have a few minutes, but we'll continue. But we will wanted to go there. One thing that our team is doing is we are, in addition to those interviews that I was talking about, our team has been doing a roadshow all across North America. So I believe we're doing 50 events this year. So please, we've got 2 roadshows coming up. So team will put the link into here. We've got, I believe, Chicago and Toronto coming up soon. I know Dave and Peter have been crisscrossing the country, going to all of them. And I think it's fantastic. There are no fees, right? We don't charge you to come talk to us. You get, in some of those, you get CPE credits, you get lunch, you get to meet a lot of your peers, you get to talk to us. Love to see you in person, something we very much invest in and would love to see you there.
And there's a reason why we do this. And I want to explain this reason. So for all of you who don't know, is that TaxDome is a private company. I think 95% of all the technologies or companies, like the software companies in the industry, they're all backed by private equity and venture capital. At TaxDome, we are owned privately. We are bootstrapped, self-funded. So we report only to one person, and this person is you, our customer. So why we do this is because we really believe in this industry. We really believe in our product, and we really believe in you. And on the other side, we're also very traditional. So I grew up, for example, in a very small town, village in Austria, and I want to work at one company forever. I hope my kids will work one day at TaxDome to serve your kids at your accounting company. And what this makes is you can rely on TaxDome for a very long time, while the other companies which have 10, 20, more than 200 million of investments, there's one thing they have a disadvantage is they will sell one day because all those venture capitals or private equity, they want to get an ROI out of it. And for us, we have no plans to sell. We have no plans to go public. We have no plans to get any investment. We just want you to provide a software which you and your clients love to use. And that's why we do all those things. That's why we go to 50+ events. That's why we invest our money we generate into roadshows, that you can just join us and hang out with us. Because if we don't do those things, we're not close to you, and you don't have this kind of webinars or in-person meetings to tell us what you need. And this is why, for example, Edwin created this community where you have this space where we have omni-channels like in TaxDome, where you have community, in-person, webinars, a lot of channels where you can communicate with us, and we make you feel heard. And on the other side, we get quality feedback to improve the platform, where we want to stay with you for a very, very long time, for years and years and years. Also a comparison, we have it here. The usual SaaS company spends around 30% on average on their R&D team. At TaxDome, we spend around 60%. I think it's more than 55. It's around 60% we invest into the product. You probably have never seen an ad of TaxDome. It's because we grow from referrals. We grow because of you, because you feel like we are delivering the expectations, we're reaching the expectations, and you recommend us. And in the next day, someone comes in, they get onboarded, they get support, and they recommend us again. And this is how we maintain this organic health growth of a strong platform.
Awesome. So yeah, we wanted to share a little bit, I guess, who we are, what we're doing. We will share the recordings. We will share the slides. We just apologies for rushing through like the last 10, 15 minutes, is that we know some people have a hard stop. Like I said, we will be staying to answer some more questions and go through there, but wanted to share about some of the things that we're releasing, what we're super excited about. Huge thank you to Dave, Jamie, and Matt for joining us. We're going to run a quick survey all before, and then we're going to get to some Q&A. So Natalia, do you mind doing that final poll as we go there?
Yeah, kudos to your team, by the way, Ilya. I mean, I know Peter didn't build this because he's been on the road with me all summer, but that's a lot of work. And it is an incredible amount of innovation that you guys just shared. So I'm sure I just want to say thanks to your team, by the way, because I know the two of you probably just directing that from above, but incredible.
You would be surprised.
Yeah, that's right.
I think everybody needs a great team to make things run, and I feel very fortunate to work with great people. And as I mentioned, that's the people we have here. We've got, we partner with Jamie, we partner with Dave. Matt's a client, but we don't want to associate unless we feel great about the people, both on a partnership level and on a day-to-day work level. So I personally feel very proud of the people that I'm able to work with in the liaise. So thank you to my team. Love working with you guys. All right, so we'll try to find some Q&A, and we'll address some quick questions here that we see. Lots of questions have been answered. Amazing. Okay, so there's some questions again. What is tax return delivery? So delivery is, again, being able to present your client not just here's a PDF, but to have context around the PDF. So when they look at the tax return, they can see what are the estimated payments that I have to make. How much do I owe, or am I getting a refund? And then on top of that, we add in full presentable format. And on top of that, there's built-in automated reminders. So if your client owes payments, estimated payments in January and so forth, it's impossible to remember that. They will be automatically stored, and those reminders will go out to them automatically next year. So you don't have to worry about that, right? I know people, Jamie, you probably set up whole workflows for people of just like doing estimated payments and reminders, how much work that is of doing. So you don't have to do that. It'll be there.
A lot of work. So this is going to be, I was actually talking to a client today because it takes literally 6 steps of the process and like bundles it all into a beautiful package that is even easier for your clients to manage through. So I'm really excited about it.
Then there's some questions about, will TaxDome work for old people that do not email? Many of my clients are not tech savvy. I will say that we've got some really exciting stuff coming out for, I'm not going to use the word old because we just had a webinar recently and somebody was telling us about how they have an 80-year-old client that's out, oh, this is awesome, I don't want to go there. So they're not old. I won't use different terms, but I don't want to say that they're old because there's plenty of old people using TaxDome and love it. But I will say there's some cool things coming out for people that are that don't want technology as much as possible. There's some really cool things coming out there, so we're working on that. All righty.
If you want, I see some points about the white label mobile app. If you want to get more information, please just go on our taxdome.com and post in the chat. But we will also include the intake form at the post webinar email with all the informations.
Then there's some questions on passing through payments. You won't have to calculate it; it will be automatic. So the pass through payments. So again, for what that is, when you send your client an invoice right now, or there's a fee associated with that. There's a payment processing fee. With passing through payments, you'll be able to add that on to the invoice automatically. So let's say it's $300 bill in the case of Ken's question. The client will be asked to pay $309, and then you will get $300 back. So that's what paying pass through payment processing fee means, and you won't have to calculate it manually.
Ilya, we have a question. Several people asked for Canada. So the manual checklists, can you elaborate how those work for international countries? I think it's very important to understand here.
Yes, I think it's a great question. So as we talked about the checklist, so document checklists, you're going to be able to have as many checklists as you need for services. Right now we're releasing one, but you'll be able to have many different checklists across for services for each account. Both intake and delivery, both parts can be fully done manually. So anything can be done. You can fill out the pages manually. You can fill out the checklist manually. You can add items to the checklist. You can remove them. You can, for Canada, you can make a custom checklist for the Canadian items that you need from your client. The only part that is US based for now is simply the AI generation of it, right? Because in order to have it, you need a large enough training data to be able to train the models and learn how to do that. So we're starting with the US market, and over time we will add others, but you can fully manually build any checklists you want for Canada or any other market where you may be.
You will still delivering the same experience, even if you're in Canada or UK or Australia or in Germany or Austria. Like you create the checklist, your client logs in, and they can upload their documents, and as you saw, interact with you within the checklist.
Okay, there's a bunch of questions on Juno that I see Grant and the team have been answering, so thank you. Grant is on Dave's team, has been working there. Let's see what else.
Let me. So you will get notified about the checklist, about the intake and delivery feature. Don't worry about it. Don't stress out. You will get a notification. I will make sure that you know about it. And we will have a very beautiful help article with videos, and the team will be available to help you set this up. So that you can reach out to our team, you can visit our help center, you can go to the community. There will be several options where you can learn how to set this up.
All righty.
Can I add a comment to one of the posts that was in here?
Yeah.
There was someone, as you were sharing the things that have rolled out, they were saying, can you please slow down on the changes and the improvements of TaxDome? And I wanted to respond to that in things have changed so fast over the last 5 years in life in general that we all have to learn how to manage our nervous systems and our responses to these changes and allow ourselves to be okay with change happening. And I give you that as a coach. You can take it for what you want, but the changes in the technology are not going to go away for anything. TaxDome is part of it. It's just the way of the world right now. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed with it, I want you to learn how to manage your response to change and, however that works for you, but know that that is just going to be something that we are all going to have to get used to, because 5 years from now, I can't even imagine what the world will be like. And so I just want you to start preparing yourself for that idea and be okay with these improvements that TaxDome is rolling out to try and help you work better, work smarter, and be more efficient.
I can't agree more with this. I just want to all to know that Eli and me, we actually have everyday discussion that we're saying that we're too slow. So we are working actively to be even faster. What if you think we are fast enough, we actually think we're too slow. So we are actively improving our delivery, product delivery timeline to be even faster on those things.
But I think the real nuance between that question is, I think, separating between capability of technology and the implementation and the process. And oftentimes there are two separate things. We can give you the best possible product ever, but if you don't turn it on and you're not able to get the process set up, and you don't have your team on board, and you don't have a champion in your team that's going to say, hey, this is what we need to move forward, it's for anything. Right? We have the same exact problems with any organization. Right? This is not an accounting problem. This is a problem of working with people. When you work with people, in order for any kind of change to happen, you all need to be rowing in the same direction. Right? And unless you're able to be aligned with your team about what your goals are, it's not going to happen. Unless you have the processes, the SOPs built out in your team, it's also not going to happen. So we try to build as many great processes as possible and make that easy for you, right? And that's part of the reason why we wanted to partner with Juno, and why we're so excited about this is we believe that this really benefits your team. Right? This really benefits that your team will get so much operational leverage by not having to do that data entry, which is, a time suck, but isn't a super, like the leverage on that isn't that high, right? You're basically just paying somebody to put numbers into a system. If you're able to get, not have them do that, that person can actually add value, and bill much more. So that's one of the reasons that we partnered with them. And I think that's a key thing to remember is technology can be there, but you still have to have the processes in place there.
Also, if you feel like you're not getting the support, I take this serious. If you feel like you're not getting the support you need, feel free to email me. Here I'm typing my email in here in the big chat. Copy it and email me. We have a chat, we have email, we have the community to help you. We have the academy, we have the help center, and we have consultants, partners like Jamie, who can additionally help you. And if you want to get very deep implementation, go into your TaxDome, go in Growth Solutions, Growth Solutions, and then there is a support packages there. If you want to have a refresher with workflows, just book it from there, or go on our consultant page, or reach out to Jamie and other partners. But again, if you feel like you're not getting the service from my team, email me and I will take care of it.
Amazing. Well, I just also want to say I love the fact that we've got such a kind of involved community, right? So we're 15 minutes over, and we still have we have almost 1,000 people on the call that are here, that are listening to this, that are engaging with us, and we're going to continue to communicate with you. We're going to continue to engage with you. Join our community. We ask, join our community. You're going to be abreast of all the latest updates. You're going to see how people are using it. You're going to see feedback and questions from people. There's more than 5,000 people in that community. It's the largest online hub for you and your peers. Join the community. All you have to do is open your TaxDome, click community in the top bar, and it will automatically sign you in. You don't need to create an account. If you're signed into TaxDome, it will log you in automatically into the community, and you can be there. And don't just tell your team, right? Because a lot of times the people on here might not be the people that are implementing changes, might not be the people that are working there. Tell your team to join the community, because they might be the ones that would actually benefit it more from you, right? When I go to conferences, a lot of times I meet I meet people. It was actually okay. So I was at a conference in Colorado less than a month ago, and I spoke to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, love TaxDome." I'm like, and my team like love it and so forth. This was actually at the tax retreat. I met somebody. I apologize, I don't remember your name, but it was from, I believe, Cleveland, and I was talking to him, and he said he loves TaxDome, and I said, "Oh, amazing. What do you like about it? What's your favorite?" He's like, "I'll be honest, I have no clue. My team loves it. I don't even use it." Right? This guy's got a firm of 10. Team loves it. He doesn't care. He doesn't know what they use. He's just like, "Oh, great. Like my team's using it. We're all happy." And so I asked him, like, "Hey, so who sets this up?" He's like, "Oh, and I apologize. I don't remember her name, but he said so-and-so is like the linchpin of this. She's the person that controls all this and so forth." And we sent her a gift because she is our champion, right? She's our champion. She's awesome. And that is the person on your team that needs to be also in the community, abreast of all the things that we're doing. So don't just go in here yourself. Get your team in the community, because then if they're there, they're going to see all the updates and releases that we're doing and see how people are using it, and your team will operate better. Sorry for the tangent, but I do think that was helpful.
No, absolutely. And I want also to go back to something what I said about the support. When I went to all the roadshows and to events, people come and then maybe you have some feedback, maybe some negative feedback. But the most important thing is there are 500 people still here at this webinar. Please communicate it to us. If you hold it to yourself, you get emotional, you get frustrated, and then it just creates anger, anxiety, and no one is happy. I don't know that you have anxiety and you're frustrated maybe with something, but if you tell me, I can help you and most probably solve it to you. And that's what I said. We have chat, emails, community, in person, everywhere. There are several channels where you can reach out to us. Every time when you feel like there is something off, just talk to us. It's much better to have this transparent communication and to help you out instead of just keeping it, or even worse, you go to social media and say, "Man, Peter doesn't help me out." And then I say, "Well, I never heard it from you." So please always come, and I will make sure that you get the support.
All
Do you
right.
we're still 500 people. Do you want to cover some other points or wrap it up?
There's a
think
comment, Peter, that you
yeah.
are the best. Just want to read that one out loud for you.
The team is the best. Without the team, I wouldn't be here. So they are doing much better than.
There is a question here that I would love to ask because I'm curious about this too. But do you guys have an update on the iOS desktop app?
iOS desktop app. iOS, Apple.
Yeah, sorry, Apple.
Apple. Got it. No, not as of yet. So basically, we're shifting to a different architecture for the desktop apps. We will be releasing a new desktop app for ARM architecture. So there's techie things and so forth. Anyway, systems have changed. There's this thing called ARM architecture, which is slightly different. So the desktop app doesn't work on there. We're going to release ARM architecture soon, and then we're going to release another update to there. We will be adding in the iOS as well, but the ARM is going to be coming first for there as well.
Okay, so next 6-ish months, like.
I don't have a timeline for the iOS one. ARM will come first, as well as an overall update to the app in general. And then iOS will come after that. So it's not forgotten, it's not there, but we are moving to a different architecture. So that is something that we're working on. But ARM will be coming in soon. We hope to have it in beta for our team internal testing within the next couple of weeks, and in production for everybody by about a month after that.
Cool.
All righty. Any final questions that we have here that I can see here? In regards to chats, guys, there's amazing questions here, but they might be a little more specific than we can kind of cover here. Please post them in the community. I think that'll be even better. Go to the community, post your question, because if it's a question that requires like a screenshot or like a flow, it's just much better.
Let's do following. Since there are 460 people still here, Edwin, create a thread in the community and post the link here in the chat now. And this is where we can start talking, continuing the conversation and the Q&A. And in Ili and me, we will go into the community and continue there. Okay. And we can spend the whole afternoon. I have time, nothing to do.
Awesome. And just wanted to also highlight, for those of you who don't know, Katie is also on our team. Katie was actually a former client and is now on our team and is also very active in the community there. So you see Katie commenting in the chat. Hello, Katie. So you guys probably see her there as well. But Edwin is our maestro of the community. I think he's doing a fantastic job, and we're going to make sure that every question is answered there as well. And you will also receive the recording and slides of this, as well as the link to the community in the email as well.
Let's just wait for the link from Edwin. He's setting it
Okay.
up.
All right. For those who don't know, Edwin has the best mustache you've ever seen.
There we go.
I can if I can try to grow one, but it won't happen.
You can.
When we send the follow-up video of this, I'd recommend including his mustache if we could.
I don't know if it'll fit on the screen. I need a bigger monitor.
So the link to the extended Q&A of this webinar is already in the chat. Edwin just posted it. Please feel free. I posted it also again for visibility.
Now, if you are directed to sign in after you click that link, first go to TaxDome, sign in, and then click the link there, because then it'll automatically, because if you're signed into TaxDome, you're gonna have it's called SSO, single sign-on, so you don't have to create an account in our community. We'll automatically pull you in there. And while we're plugging the community, if you've got Juno questions, we have a specific section called Juno. So you can ask questions, any question about Juno that you have. Dave's team is on it. They will respond to you there. Whether it's a product question, whether it's a pricing question, whether it's a functionality question, please ask there. They'll be on top of it. We also have there different sections. So people ask, oh, why are you using the community? I want to use Facebook. I'll tell you why, because we get different categories of areas that are in there. So let me show you. Actually, I'll switch my screen. Do you mind switching? Let me share just so you guys just see what I'm sharing here. Let's see. Hopefully all safe for work.
The community is not on Facebook. So there was a customer who said, I'm not on Facebook. The community is not on Facebook. As you see here, this is not Facebook. This is on TaxDome itself. Like we use a third-party provider, but you can go to the community through the TaxDome portal.
Yes. And what you'll notice here, so there's your main feed, which you have everything, but what it does is it creates these different areas, right? So you can see different announcements from our team. I don't know why my computer's so slow, but one day it'll load. Different announcements. We put recent releases. So if you just want to catch up, hey, what did we release recently? You'll be able to see it there. If you're a beta user, you can see full, questions on there. Or if you are, from a different country, we're building out our international areas. If you prefer to speak, different languages, specific workflows that are there. So, it's much more organized. There's a great use of a great number of people that are communicating in there, and we look forward to having your participation in there, because it really, you guys are, this is what makes our job easier, honestly, and more fun, is having lots of customers to talk to, right? This is one of the beauties of B2B is you have people. What's that?
We just crashed the community, guys.
We just crashed we crashed the community.
Everything we just said in the last 20 minutes, we take back. Go to Facebook and just post in a random community, please.
Circle is down. This is really funny. Circle at this moment, Circle is down.
It was the comment about Edwin's mustache. I think you drove thousands of people there, Ilya. This is on you this time.
We broke the internet. So it's there. Please join.
Please try the next 1-2 minutes and we'll be up again.
Yeah,
exactly.
But this is an important difference, right? When you're building, a lot of times when you're building a product and you're talking to consumers, you have to try to figure out what they want and what they go to. When you're talking to B2B specifically, what we are is we're a vertical SaaS. We serve the tax, bookkeeping, and accounting community. We're not built for photographers. We're not built for a horizontal vertical. We're not horizontal. We're vertical. We built for you. We understand your workflows deeply. We want to understand your clients' needs, your team's needs, and build processes around that to make you more efficient. And that's really what separates us versus, say, a horizontal software. And what makes our job easier is the more communication we have with you. That's why we do all these events, because it's, on the one hand, we're building out the community, but also selfishly, the closer we are to the community, the better products we can put out. So there's a symbiotic relationship here, is that you talking to us, you telling us what works, what doesn't work, and constant feedback lets us do our job better. Yeah, the engagement broke the internet.
Let me see
All
if I
right.
can. No, nothing.
So you guys broke circle. This is great. But again, I didn't see some of the chats that were there. But hopefully, because I was sharing my screen there. But hopefully you guys are able to get back onto the community as soon as it's broken. But yes, we did break the internet.
Thank you everyone for joining. This was great.
This was
We'll
good.
make sure the next time we will probably break down if we have a lot of features to announce. I saw the feedback. We're most probably gonna do less and more deeper to talk and to slow down. But thank you for the feedback. We will make sure that everyone is updated with the new features. You will get notifications. And again, if you need support, please reach out. The support is here. And if you have feedback on our product, on our platform, use the community or any other channel. And thank you so much again for joining. And obviously also Matt, I know you left. Thank you, Dave, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys too. It was great.